On this episode of Cape Media News, Stop and Shop workers walk off the job. We'll tell you about the ongoing strike. The revitalization of the east end of Main Street, Hyannis continues as ground breaks for the renovation of 255 Main. Congressman Bill Keating is working to secure southeastern Massachusetts as a leader in the blue economy movement. And Vietnam veterans are honored in Barnstable. These stories and more. This is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Sarah Colvin. Thank you so much for watching, and today we say happy birthday to Cape Media News. Our show debuted on April 19th, 2017, and for the past 2 years we've been so pleased to bring you television news for Cape Cod. Thank you to you, our viewers and supporters. We love you. We begin tonight's show in Hyannis. On Friday, April 12th, developer Rob Brennan of Cape Built broke ground on his newest project, a renovation and revitalization of 255 Main Street.
1, 2, 3. I want to start just by welcoming all of you here to 255 Main Street. Looking out at the crowd, it really means so much to me to see such a collection of people here that are gathered for our next project. I tell people that if I learned one lesson as a developer, it was number 1, listen, number 2, listen, and number 3, listen. And you are the folks that I've listened to, but you're also the folks that were kind enough to give me the guidance, be it professional guidance and pointers and critiques, design commentary, or educating me about the role that buildings like the Furman Building have played in the history of Hyannis, the importance that Sea Captain's Row held and holds today as a gateway, both figurative and literal gateway for Hyannis.
Brennan overcame many hurdles to get this project underway and is pleased to see work now beginning.
The excitement's been building, and today it's kind of the cork, comes off the bottle. The real work begins in a lot of ways, but every day you show up and you see a difference, and you see the project, starting to come to life. And still have a long road ahead of us, but to actually, see the building blocks begin, it's exciting.
His hope is to bring positive energy to downtown Hyannis.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to just add to an already existing layer and layers of history and culture and community, that already exists here, on the East End. And you're creating new opportunities, for people that want to live in the downtown, that want to, be able to call, the section of the street their block, and to have their neighbors, and to have their cafe, and to have their restaurants and their walking route, and just to be able to put down roots in a place of a section of Hyannis that has so many of the building blocks already in place. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be exciting to see 10 new families come in first, and then another 60 around the corner. Getting people living in the downtown and planting their roots is what I find most rewarding.
Construction is underway, and the building will be home to 2 retail spaces, one hopefully a cafe, and several 1- and 2-bedroom apartments, with the hope of bringing more vibrancy to the east end of Hyannis and downtown overall. Well, Stop and Shop workers across New England are on strike. It's now the longest strike in the company's history. Gabrielle Rawson visited the South Dennis store to talk to employees on the picket line.
Stop and Shop workers are on strike, forcing grocery shoppers in many communities to go elsewhere. On Thursday, April 11th, 31,000 employees in more than 400 stores walked off the job in an effort to secure benefits they say they're entitled to.
It actually started yesterday afternoon when we were asked to walk off the job because negotiations broke down with the main company of A-Hole in our union. So we're told to walk off. We walked off and we started a picket line.
We're coming together as a group and we're just standing our ground. We're all surprised it came to this point, but most of all, all of us, including the management people as well as all of the employees, would like it to come to an agreement in the very, very near future.
Since January, the United Food and Commercial Workers Union Local 328 has been in contract negotiations with Stop and Shop owner Ahold Delhaize, one of the world's largest food retail groups.
It's overly aggressive capitalism is what it is. There is a value for us to help employees get a living wage and help them get the benefits that they deserve.
We just want to get things that we feel we're entitled to, things that we've had right along and that we would like to continue to have.
We're asking to keep a lot of our benefits that we have now.
According to a statement released by Stop and Shop, the company is committed to good faith bargaining to reach fair contracts. But workers say the changes amount to pay cuts and loss of benefits.
They want to take things away, like they want to change our pension plan from what it is now to a 401k, take it out of the control of the union and into their control.
And we're also working for the people who have not even been hired here yet because they're trying to take away things from the future employees.
For me, retirement's not that far in the future. I'm here more for my brothers and sisters that I've worked with for so many years. I care for what happens to them and all the future people that will have employment with Stop and Shop.
With negotiations at a standstill, it could be a while before employees get back to work.
We're all anxious to get back to work. None of us really care for this position.
We want to get back to work and we want it to be fair.
Stop and Shop is open for business, but employees on strike don't want customers to cross the picket lines. In South Dennis, for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
And Stop and Shop has been donating its unsold food to food pantries while the strike is underway. No word on when or if an agreement will be reached. Up next, could Cape Cod be a major player in the blue economy?
To make this the epicenter for marine technology.
This is where the action will be. This will be a difference maker.
Are you or someone you know looking for a caring local healthcare provider? Hi, I'm Chris Ellis, Director of Organizational Advancement at Community Health Center of Cape Cod. The Health Center's mission is to improve the health of the community through the provision of comprehensive, high-quality, compassionate healthcare to all, regardless of ability to pay. We currently care for more than 17,000 patients on the Cape. We are a full-service, nonprofit health center that is happy to announce the opening of an office in Centerville, joining others in Mashpee, Falmouth, and Bourne. Our Centerville office is located at 1185B Falmouth Road at the corner of Route 28 and West Main Street. We are open for walk-in visits from anyone who needs care, Monday to Thursday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., and no appointment is necessary. To learn more about becoming a patient, employee, volunteer, or donor at the Health Center, visit chcofcapecod.org or call 508-477-7090. Thank you.
The blue economy has long been the heartbeat of Cape Cod, and now Congressman Bill Keating is hoping to cement our region as a leader in marine technology and water-related trade. Stakeholders gathered for a forum in Woods Hole this spring. Cape Media News was there.
We look forward to partnering with everyone down here on the Cape, throughout the region, and throughout the world to make this the epicenter for marine technology, not only in the region, but throughout the world.
Cape Cod's blue economy is growing, and we are on our way to becoming an international leader in the industry.
It seems like every big issue has its moment. To me, this is the moment right now. The blue economy across this country and globally is expanding, as forecasts have said. In the next 11 years, it's going to be rising at double the global rate of other industry.
Congressman Bill Keating hosted a forum at the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution's Quissit campus, bringing together business leaders, economic stakeholders, and educational leaders to solidify plans to bolster the blue economy.
And right now, we have all the pieces in place. We have the all-star team here of the greatest research, academic, private investment, nonprofits, and the advantage of having the natural location that we do now.
Congressman Keating's district is really very important globally in the marine science and technology space, and I think he sees the commonality from Cape Cod to the islands to southeastern Mass, even into Rhode Island. So with his leadership, we're kind of coalescing and seeing where we can work together, where we can improve programs together. And I'm hoping we can expand it beyond marine science and tech and talk about things like sharks and whales and wastewater and all things water related.
Cape Cod's robust ocean-based economy is perfectly poised to become an international leader in the blue economy movement.
What the blue economy is doing is giving an identity, a name to something that's always existed here in pieces, but has never been sort of unified under one title and one identity, and that's part of what we're trying to do.
The group that's working on the blue economy right now is doing a fantastic job. In addition, I think the STEM education component, which is also part of understanding the overall blue economy, having those work in tandem as well as the labs and as well as the industry, I think that's going to really change the way people perceive the blue economy in this region.
I'm here to learn more about the growing interest in the blue economy as a blue economy organization, or I guess deep blue, as Wendy Norquist would define us. It's exciting to see this energy and effort being put into capitalizing on our beautiful resources.
It's what we do. You know, our mission is to understand the ocean and the earth and the planetary system and then communicate those results for society's benefit. And so the blue economy as a bigger unit and offshore wind energy in particular are all parts of the same structure, and so our role in validating the processes and the tools that the wind energy industry that's new in the U.S. uses to do their work is an important part of moving the industry forward and moving the blue economy forward.
The blue economy is defined as the sustainable use of ocean resources for economic growth, improved livelihoods, and jobs. Southeastern Massachusetts is already a leader in research, tourism, and development due to the expansive coastline and nearby educational and research institutions.
This is where the action will be. This will be a difference maker for jobs, for younger people coming in, for global, federal, private sector money coming into this area. And there's a great deal of excitement in the room today, and there should be.
The Cape Cod Chamber of Commerce is working to educate and inform in hopes that the blue economy will help retain our vital young population.
So we're working on a few things. We just came off of a really successful career showcase day. We had 300 high school students from around the Cape there, 52 businesses, and have gotten really positive feedback from that. So we're in the planning process of doing that again next year. And really that's all about taking the kids that live here, that have a connection to this place already, helping them understand how they're a part of the blue economy, what it is, and then really showing them through the showcase model the opportunities that are here. So maybe they go off to college, but have in the back of their mind that there are opportunities here, there are good jobs and interesting jobs here at home.
So what's really important about today's event is that we're developing new partnerships across the region and beyond our region, which all have a common interest in growing the blue economy, which, as we all know, is the future for job creation on Cape Cod. It's jobs today, but into the future can be very robust, very exciting.
Some of the quotes that we've heard today, just the recognition at maybe at different levels of policy and business than what was recognized before, the recognition of how much of our world, our economy, our quality of life depends on the ocean, and how important it is to maximize that quality, not only for business, not only for the economy, but also for our own well-being, health and well-being.
But to have the congressman here and making this a key focus of his economic priorities for the region shows how far this project has come in a few short years and how important it is to our economic development here.
If you look at the great success stories around our country, if you look at Wall Street in New York City or Silicon Valley in California, those regional areas came together not by accident. They came together by major academic research, private sector groups, all working together. We have that in place right now, right here in southeastern Massachusetts.
The forum was a chance for key stakeholders to collaborate. It's part of Phase 1 of a 3-year grant-funded planning process. Year 2 will move the regional plan forward, and implementation is expected in Year 3. In Woods Hole for Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Colvin. The Cape Cod Blue Economy Project is hosting an informational briefing on Thursday, April 25th at TD Bank in Hyannis. If you want to go, the event begins at 7:30 in the morning, and you can find tickets online. Search for Blue Economy Briefing on Facebook. And speaking of the blue economy, Cape Cod's fishing industry is a major player, and one busy harbor is getting a facelift. Gabrielle Rawson visited the Chatham Fish Pier to learn about upgrades underway.
The Chatham Municipal Fish Pier is home to many hardworking fishermen. Boats leave the harbor to catch striped bass, tuna, and more. Then they return with their catch, where it's unloaded and packed to be delivered to markets and restaurants here on Cape Cod and around the world. The Fish Pier's observation deck is a popular spot for people to gather to watch the catch come in. A $1.6 million renovation is underway that will improve the experience for visitors and fishermen.
We are down at the Chatham Municipal Fish Pier on Chatham Harbor, and we have begun a project to replace the observation deck. It's been replaced a couple of times over the years because it is in a very exposed environment, as you can imagine. You know, it takes a real beating in northeast storms and whatnot. So it's been repaired and maintained over the years.
In 2017, Chatham voters approved funding for improvements to town waterways. The first of many projects, the observation deck renovation, integrates coastal resiliency in its design and uses new technology to ensure it can be enjoyed for many years to come.
We had about 5 or 6 items on our list that we were trying to address in replacing it. One was build it with better materials that would hold up better in a marine environment. Deal with the handicapped accessibility issue, because the old deck unfortunately was not handicapped accessible, and so that was an issue we wanted to address. We wanted to make it a little bit bigger because frankly in the summertime, in July and August, we get thousands of people here at the Fish Pier every day. And then we also wanted to address a code issue because given the number of people that were on the deck, there was only one set of stairs in and out. So we wanted to add a second means of egress that, you know, heaven forbid if anything ever did happen, people would be able to get off the deck safely. And then finally, there was a concern about some of the support posts, frankly, just being in the way. So as part of the new deck, we're actually extending further out seaward. So the support posts will now be up on the cap log out of the way of the forklifts operating.
Renovations will also allow fishermen to deliver a fresher product.
One of the other problems we had with the old deck was being made out of wood, there were gaps between the boards. So all the dirt and dust and all that would collect on the deck with people moving their feet around, that would kind of rain down onto the fish as they went from the boat into the building. You know, not significantly, not enough that it impacted the quality, but it was a concern for us and the fishermen as well. So the new deck being made out of new materials is basically going to be sealed so that the dust and the dirt and rainwater can't come down onto the working area. You know, we are a waterfront community. We're surrounded on 3 sides by water. You know, boating, shellfishing, swimming, walking the shoreline, those are all critical things that make up the nature of Chatham. So maintaining and enhancing our waterfront facilities is always critically important to us because that's how people access the water.
Work on the Chatham Municipal Fish Pier is expected to be complete in mid-May. In Chatham, for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
And that observation deck, of course, is closed while work is being done. Up next, residents weigh in on proposed coyote hunting regulations.
Did you know that with your library card, you can borrow passes for discounted admission to popular museums or get free access to Consumer Reports? Hi, my name is Emily Carta. I'm the staff librarian at Brooks Free Library. Here at the library, we're proud to bring you a wide range of programs and services beyond checking out books and movies. Throughout the year, we host programs for all age groups, such as live music performances, a craft club, and even a Thursday movie matinee. All programs are free to attend and open to everyone. Our e-library puts your favorite digital resources right at your fingertips, any day, anytime. Read full articles from the New York Times or research your family tree right from the comfort of your own home. There's something for everyone here at the library. For more information, visit us at brooksfreelibrary.org or call 508-430-7562. And don't forget to subscribe to our newsletter for all the latest updates about the library.
Local coyote contests have caused some conversations in the community, and now the state is stepping in to take a look at regulations. Residents packed a lecture hall at Cape Cod Community College recently. Cape Media News was there.
Coyote contests are once again under fire. The Massachusetts Division of Fisheries and Wildlife held a public listening session to give concerned citizens a chance to weigh in as they begin a review process that could change current coyote hunting regulations.
So as you all know, we're here this evening because of public concern and public controversy related to a coyote contest sponsored by a private business on Cape Cod. Our agency, Mass Wildlife, takes this matter very seriously.
Tonight we're holding one of 2 listening sessions that will be happening on the Cape, focused on coyote hunting regulations, the contest concerns that people have, and it's part of the very beginning of a review process of our policies and regulations.
Currently, there are no daily or annual bag limits on coyote hunting.
Senator Sear and I were the 2 legislators that reached out to Fish and Wildlife and asked them to come and have this public hearing. For the better part of a year or more, we've been hearing from constituents, quite honestly, on both sides of this issue. And as I said to the group, this is not a legislative matter, this is a regulatory matter, and there's a process in place that Fish and Wildlife uses to review their regulations. So this is the first step in that process.
Although State Senator Julian Sear could not make the meeting, his senior advisor was there to share his concerns.
Senator Sear would like to see a limit imposed on the size and the amounts of coyotes that can be hunted. It's troubling that when it comes to hunting regulations in the Commonwealth, there are possession and size limits for fish, deer, migratory birds, black bears, but not for coyotes. It is this loophole in the regulation that has the unintended consequence of allowing coyote hunting contests to take place.
So what people are really asking for, first and foremost, is an end to the coyote killing contest. That is the predominant concern. But related to that is the fact that the season is 6 months long and there are no bag limits. And so effectively, if you put bag limits and size limits on the hunt, that would effectively curtail the killing contest in and of itself. So, you know, again, first and foremost, it's the contest.
I think the big problem with the killing contest is not so much the hunting aspect of it, but the contest aspect of it. And because the coyotes are not considered a game species, they're considered vermins, they're considered vermin, that they don't enjoy the standards that other species that are hunted enjoy, i.e. bag limits, or the methodologies that you can use to hunt them. You can use a lot more egregious methodologies to hunt coyotes than you can other game species.
Killing contests and trophy hunting is not conservation, and I do appreciate the agency's care that you've taken in making sure that the population is stable throughout the year, but just because they're abundant and resilient doesn't mean that they get to be subjected to a yearly slaughter.
As with any wild creature, they should be approached with caution. But they do not deserve to die cruelly so that someone can earn a trophy or feel pride.
Public response to Mass Wildlife's listening session was overwhelmingly positive.
It was very positive for me, and I'm actually quite surprised that there are so many people that are here, and I really believe that they are more against the killing contest.
The Fish and Wildlife group is actually, they're going to take it very seriously, and I really loved what they did. They brought in some really good experts. They gave us some wonderful presentations, a lot of information, and it really felt like they really wanted to hear what we had to say.
Mass Wildlife plans to take all public comment into consideration before recommending any possible regulatory changes to the board.
When anybody's looking at policy or regulations, that kind of thing takes time. But for right now, we are in information gathering mode.
The next listening session will be held on June 18th in West Barnstable. For Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
And we will keep you up to date as the state continues discussions on those regulations. Many Vietnam veterans felt forgotten when they arrived home from battle. But ever since an official day of honor was established, local communities are hoping to make up for lost time. Here on Cape Cod, the Barnstable Senior Center and the Cape Cod Veterans Center hosted a special ceremony to honor these special men and women.
The Vietnam War was one of the longest in history, lasting from 1955 to 1975. Widely protested, many vets returned to an unfriendly and hostile environment. For the last 5 years, the Cape Cod Vet Center has held a service in honor of Vietnam vets to give them the welcome home they deserve.
This commemoration affords us the opportunity to do what should have been done 50 years ago. Welcome our Vietnam veterans home with honor and thank them and their families for their service and sacrifice. Our country, our Cape Cod community, our families and our children owe you a debt of gratitude.
At the ceremony, veterans were encouraged to speak and share their stories.
It's good to be home, it's good to be alive, and it's good to be with all you folks. I feel safe. And I think you people know what I mean by that when I say I feel safe.
I served in Vietnam from the years 67 to 68. I served in Quezon where everything was underground. The CP, everything else, everyone lived underground.
It's not like Rambo. It's what feel like.
I want to be able to look at you all, and 50 years after I was in Cu Chi, I sat down and wrote a poem.
I got a feeling I need some healing, some spiritual healing, way down inside, way down inside.
Vets were honored for their service with a commemorative pin.
On behalf of a grateful nation, it is a privilege to present you with this symbol of our nation's thanks and to honor you for your service, valor, and sacrifice when our country needed you.
This is the best event ever, because I was never welcomed home.
It is important today to be here because of the friends that I have lost.
The events like this are few and far between. I appreciate it. Every year I come and I meet some new friends and old friends.
I was in the Navy, 67 to 69. I like this, yeah.
It's a camaraderie. Everybody gets together and they realize how lucky we are. The real heroes didn't come home.
For everybody that's serving or has served, it's important to know that people appreciate the sacrifices they've made.
We can thank the ones that risk their lives for us.
I was very moved with what I saw today, and I really, really appreciate what they've done for us today. Thank you.
The commemoration of the 50th anniversary of the Vietnam War will last through 2025. In Hyannis, for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.
We thank you so much for watching Cape Media News, and we thank you so much for your support over the past 2 years. I also want to give a shout out to Stacey Kuhn and Stacey Kuhn Hair, who will now be doing my hair for the show. Thank you, Stacey, and we'll see you soon. And thank you all for watching your local authentic newscast. I'm Sarah Colvin, and this is Cape Media News.